What has it? I'm back in the Zoom business again.
We never really had a conversation. I'll try not to throw you during the meeting. One thing I didn't think about was passing this around tips.
When do you want me to say it?
I think it's on the latest one, but I know you don't have one.
Welcome, everybody. It's been 2 weeks. I've missed each and every one of you. I hope you feel the same way. I hope you had a terrific Thanksgiving. I saw several of you at the Drumstick Dash. That's nice of us to support that organization because our own Kevin Berry is, Director of Marketing and Communications there. So I'm sure he appreciated having so many of us out for the Drumstick Dash. Speaking of appreciation, my wife Beth really appreciated the Get Well card. She had a bad fall. She's practically immobile. The worst part of it is she's stuck at home with fill in the blank. Those of you that know her know she'd love to hear from you. All right? Let's see. John. This is empty. When I get it back after the meeting, it needs to be full. Why? Because every dollar you put in here is going to help. Come on, we've done this every year. The staff that support us here. Very good. A couple of you have been here before, I guess. So we're going to send that around. Let's see. We have an agenda. Preston Tyler's on his way up to give the introspection, and Harry's on his way up to give the pledge.
I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving, but bear with me for just a minute. Let's pretend for a moment that you had a rich family member who left you a sizable amount of money with some stipulations. They left you $86,400 to spend every day. $86,400 to spend every day with one stipulation. And that is, you can't bring any of Sunday's money into Monday. You can't bring any of Monday's money into Tuesday. You have to spend all of the $86,400 in one day, every day. You can't save it. You can't put it in the chicken and hide it in the bottom of the deep freezer. You cannot put it in an account and put your sister's name on it so your husband can't find out. You can't put it in a shoe box or a hat box under your pillow or under your pillow. You have to spend all $86,400 in one day. You can't bring one day's money into the next day. I don't know about you, but I think Doc can handle that. I think 2 or 3 other people can handle that as well. Spending $86,400 a day, every day until the day you die, the only stipulation it is, you can't bring any money from one day to the next. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it? But let's keep it real. Let's quit dreaming. Let's get your head back. You nor I have any rich folk in our family who would leave us that type of money. I do not have $86,400 to spend every day. That was a wonderful imagination. But now let's get serious. There is someone who loves you more than a rich relative. There's someone who loves you more than a grandmother, mother, or father who deposits 86,400 seconds in every day of your life. With one stipulation: you can't bring a minute of Sunday into Monday. You can't bring a minute of Monday into Tuesday. You got to spend all day Monday in Monday. And an old preacher used to say it this way: I only have a minute, 60 seconds in. Forced upon me, I can't refuse it. I didn't seek it and I didn't choose it. It's up to me to use it. I'm going to suffer if I lose it, give an account if I abuse it. A tiny little minute, but eternity is in it.
My name is Harry Zuloff. I'm in charge of getting people to do the pledge at each meeting. Unfortunately, last meeting, I forgot to get somebody, so I'm doing it today. You'll join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Please be seated. Thank you, Preston. Thank you, Harry. So this is the point in the agenda where you get to listen to the president's weekly message. Now, about those seconds we just heard about, I'm hoping you find these few seconds well spent. At our last club meeting, I announced that 2 new members had already joined the club since the beginning of our October new year. I also announced that Sherry Hartman, who followed Greg Lineberger, was the second winner of the Outreach Award. What a joy it is to see so many of our club members increasing awareness about our club and the community. I look out today and I see a very full room, thanks entirely due to your outreach efforts. I'm humbled by that. The expression, many hands make light work, comes to mind. Now, these outreach successes happen only because individual members, each of you, take specific actions to reach out to others. I'm going to continue to encourage you to do that. I mean, that's my job this year, is to encourage you to take that kind of action. And often when you do that, you share information about our club with these other people. Good for you. That's worked marvelously. Well, did you know that we have a page on our website, which is shown on the screen? That's right, everybody look at the screen. Shown on the screen, that is dedicated to exactly the kind of information that prospective or new members want to know. So I'm going to spend a few seconds introducing you to this page. It begins with a compelling short video starring a few of you, our club members. It then goes in to describe what we are and how to join us. What is Kiwanis? Who can join? When and where do you meet? What do you do? What's a meeting look like? And it talks about the costs of joining our club. So the next time you're reaching out to somebody, please keep doing it exactly the way you're doing it. And if you think sending them a link to this page on our website would be beneficial, go ahead and do that. Because our theme is what?
Outrage.
Thank you very much. Now's the time for
Harry.
I know that was heartfelt. Thank you. We're going to have new member introductions today. I mean, no, birthday. No, Harry. Come back up here, Harry.
This guy's new, so that's Harry Zuloff again. Like to introduce all of our guests. Boy, we have a lot of them today. So I'm going to start with some of our Action Club members that are here. Charles, if everyone, as I introduce you, stand up, stay up the whole time, and then we'll give you a round of applause at the end. We got Charles. How about Jeff Swigert? And Robert Harrison. Okay, They have been invited by Ken Briggs because I think they worked on our nature park. Next, I'd like to introduce Larry Breed and Deborah Breach. I guess it's Breach, I'm sorry. Larry Breach and Deborah, they must be related. Good old Abrocta outreach guy invited them. And in fact, prospective member, yeah, they are. So I want everyone to greet them sometime during the meeting here. I'm going to go next to some more nature park people that helped us. Courtney Plaster of Clean Valley Council, Dina Sasser of Clean Valley, and let's see, who else? How about Mark Lucht of Clean Valley? That's Sherry invited them. I'm going to go back to Alan Rosarian, Center in the Square. He'll stand up. Ken Briggs invited Alan to our meeting today. Let's see, I've got Ian Shaw of the city of Roanoke, invited by Don Witt. I think it has to do with the nature park. Bob Garce, one of my neighbors, as a matter of fact, and Sherry invited him. Taylor Medley, a volunteer manager at Carillion. Ken Briggs invited her. Did she get up? There she is over there. Thank you. Got a couple guys came in here, Scott Amos and Jack Cunningham. They're realtors. Abrocta again invited them, and I guess they're sort of checking out the club. So greet these guys. We got Renee Powers of the city of Roanoke, Don Witt. So I hope I got everybody. I skipped around a little bit, but we got a lot of guests. Give them. All right. And I just want to say, you can sit down. I just want more time with the mic here. Reason I joined the club, I joined the club way back in 2001. It was to meet people in the city and create a network. Well, my job changed. I dropped out in about 2006, 2007, and now I'm back. And again, it's to get together once a week to participate in good city projects and have some fun. So welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Harry, and welcome guests. And I'll just point out that two of our guests that are here today work for MKB Realtors, Jack and Scott. And thanks to their generosity and the generosity of MKB, we got a nice check that was given to us for KPAD this past year. So thank you very much, guys. Now for birthdays.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that because I'm organizing KPAC, so you can hit me up and give me a check if you'd like. All right, Kiwanians, we have a lot of December birthdays today, and I'm hoping Judy might be able to take a break and play the birthday song for us. Coming up quickly, we've got December 3rd, our new member, Fred Jeter. December 5th, Jay Harlow. December 9th, Lloyd Enoch. December 14th, Jim Joyce. If you're here today and it's your birthday, please feel free to stand so that we can recognize you. December 17th, Mike McAvoy. December 21st, new member Randy Myers. Also on December 21st, Diane DeHaven. Chuck Baker is December 23rd. Lois James is the 26th. New member Maritza Steele is December 27th, and Judy Clark is 28th. So Judy's going to play her own song for us. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kiwanis. Happy birthday to you.
Well done. That was quite musical. Now, Don, Wilson, if Don's gonna come up and you do one of my favorite parts of being a Kiwanian. He's gonna induct some new members.
Yes, sir, President Mike. It's one of my favorite things to do too. And one of the nicest things we can do as Kiwanians is to invite a coworker, a neighbor, a friend, family member to come to our Kiwanis luncheon, and even better, accept our invitation of membership. So we call that sharing the K, because a lot of helping hands go into the service projects we do. And so we're today thankful for two Kiwanians who are sharing the K. Greg Leinberger is sponsoring Salvation Army Captain Matt Trantham. Greg and Matt, if you come forward, please. And Maritza Steele is being sponsored by Rupert Cutler, who is here today. John Montgomery is going to do the introduction. Is that right? Okay. If you'd stand over this way, please, so I don't have to reach out so far with this microphone so you can introduce Matt and Marissa, please. Greg?
Yes, so Captain Matt Trantham of the Salvation Army, he and his wife Christina relocated to the Valley several months ago now. And Matt is a previous Kiwanian in Fayetteville. So he is back in the fold, which is great. And so I have to be honest, Matt was pretty direct about this. He was pretty intentional about joining Kiwanis, which I appreciate. And we look forward to working with him and working with the Army through Kiwanis. Welcome.
John?
Thank you, Don. I'm John Montgomery, Secretary of the club, and pinch hitting for Rupert, who is here, largely responsible for Maritza Steele joining our club. Maritza is a co-worker of Shion Day, whose responsibilities at Hollins had led her to step back from the club. She enjoyed her time here, took it seriously.
Got it.
Worked with the school to find a replacement, someone who succeeds her. I'm pleased to tell you, although I don't know Maritza well, I found that we have several common links. She's from the Midwest. In fact, she grew up in Champaign, Urbana, Illinois, Pegram. I believe your family has a farm not too far from my neck of the woods in western Indiana, just across the border. Speaking of Indiana, as I see Jim Randall, someone I knew when I lived in Indiana, that Maritza went to DePaul University in Greencastle, and then earned her master's and PhD at Indiana University, IU, another Big Ten school. And I can tell you, Maritza, that the Big Ten has some avid fans in this room. Ohio State and Iowa and Michigan and Penn State and some other Big Ten schools. Maritza's title at Hollins is Assistant Director of Admission and Community Outreach. Community outreach is something that's pretty important to our club, so I think it's a natural fit. She also, and I'm privy to this information as club secretary, is the youngest member of our club, so we're doing something good on that front too. Maritza and her husband, Justin, who is an attorney in Roanoke, have a 3-year-old, soon-to-be 3-year-old son, Isaac, and are expecting their second child in February. Please welcome Maritza Steele.
Thank you all. If you turn and face me, please, Matt, Maritza. I have a pair of work gloves for you today. Now these, you might want to put them on when you leave the meeting today. It's kind of chilly out. But you've been approved by our board of directors as new members of our club. You've received an orientation about our expectations of Kiwanians, and we look forward to working with you on service projects and sharing lunches with you on Wednesday afternoons. These gloves are symbolic of the work that we do in Kiwanis, and I want you to think about when you put the gloves on, when you put your little finger in, I want you to think about the big things that we do for the less fortunate in our community. Our ring finger, the circle of friends that you're going to make as Kiwanians, the Kiwanis Club of Roanoke. Our middle finger stands above the others on our hand, just as this club stands above other service organizations in the Roanoke Valley. Our index finger leads the way. We're the #1 club in the Capital District. And when we finish a service project, Jim Randall's always gives a thumbs up, and I think that's a good thing to do too. So think about that, and we welcome you to the Kiwanis Club of Roanoke. I've got for you some couple swag bags. Let's see. Ritza, this is yours. It has a new member badge. It has a membership directory in it. It also has some information about our 501c3 foundation that we hope and pray that you will support because it supports the club. There you go, Matt. It also has the responsibilities of a new member, the things that you need to do to trade that new member badge into a permanent badge. So you've got a copy of those responsibilities in the bag, as well as your sponsor has one too, to help you get through those, to get past the new member badge and get a permanent member badge. Welcome to the club. I'd like everyone to please stand, put your fingers and hands together, and welcome Matt Trantham and Ritza Steele. Welcome, Matt.
Let's get a picture. We're gonna get the two of you to stand right where you're standing. Glenn Pierce is gonna take a photograph if we can put him on the spot. There you go. Thank you all. Bob Haberman has got a grant presentation to do for us today. Bob?
And thank you, Mike. Our recipient of the grant today is Hope Tree, and I'm going to ask Lisa and Bob to come up. Bob Rutherford is going to tell us a little bit about Hope Tree. And then Lisa is going to tell us a little bit about what they plan to do with the money. Yeah. Bob?
Just mention a little bit about Hope Tree that I know. I just found out last year that it's a statewide organization. We've enjoyed a relationship with Kids Fishing Day with Mike Bell and myself and all those people who've helped over the years. And it's just been a wonderful experience for the West End Center children. And I'll turn it over to Lisa and tell us more information.
Hello, I'm Lisa Klaus. I'm the Chief Advancement Officer for Hope Tree Family Services. And we've been around since 1890. We were the Virginia Baptist Children's Home. A lot of people remember that name. And then we transitioned to Hope Tree Family Services. And like Bob said, we're statewide. We have therapeutic foster care, developmental disabilities ministry. We have an equine psychotherapy program. We have other programs that help the family and health services for children and adults in need. So today, one of the things that we received the grant for that we're so excited about, we have a Hope Tree Academy on our campus, and that's for students that have been referred to us from local schools, and they can graduate from Hope Tree Academy. We have a science department, and there's only one microscope for 35 kids. So this grant goes to buy another microscope so that the kids aren't all gathered around one. Now we have two. So we're very excited, and we also appreciate all the support you guys give us for the fishing tournaments that you do as well. So thank you very much.
Well done. And since Bob is standing up here near the microphone, we might as well let him do his autobiography.
I'll try not to put anybody to sleep here. Sorry, all these people are visiting, or have to listen to this. I was born on January 8th, 1947 at Louisville Regional Hospital downtown. My parents, Bill and Fanny Rutherford, moved here after World War II. My dad was the chief X-ray technician at that hospital. He passed away at 75. My mother is still going strong out at Roanoke, playing bridge and winning, and been there about 6 years. She's 102. And I owe a lot of what's happened in my life to her. I probably took after her more than I did her father. My early childhood, I was, probably can't tell it now, but I was always the tallest boy. There were a few girls that were at least as tall. But, you know, that was a big benefit in growing up. And we went to Woodlawn Methodist Church, which is across from the Coffee Pot over in Granite Court. I attended Granite Court Elementary School, was captain of the safety patrols. And actually was the one year I was, my post was right across from the Coffee Pot. And then I went to Woodrow Wilson, where the only distinction thing was I started playing football for Jefferson on the freshman team, and then moved on to Patrick Henry. I was in the first class that went all 4 years, started in 1960 and graduated in 1965. I was president of the senior class, captain of the basketball team, and one of the quarterbacks on the football team. And the main thing that's affected my life over the years was that I was one of the 2 people that went from Roanoke to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes National Conference in Black Mountain, North Carolina. And you know, that had a huge effect. We were able to start the chapter at Patrick Henry, and the other fellow was from Fleming, and then it spread to Salem and then all over the area. Howard Light, who many of you may have heard of, was a Patrick Henry football coach at the time and was instrumental in helping. I then attended Hampton-Sydney, graduated in 1969 with what was called an inner science BS degree, which wasn't a whole lot you could do with that other than go to medical school or be a minister. Anyway, I tried to play football the first 2 years. I got hurt in a scrimmage game, and I was always injured. Anyway, after 2 years, I decided I better stick with my studies in pre-med. I was also, we started a fellowship of Christian athletes there, and was in the Catholic fraternity with John Pendleton, who I don't see today. Let's see, I guess that's about it for Hampton-Sydney. I did finish half a year early and taught school at William Byrd. The second semester was the tennis coach, and then the highlight of my life was marrying my high school and college sweetheart, Ann Sims, August 16th, 1969. And we had 3 daughters. Julie was born in 71 when I was a second-year medical student. Molly in 75 when I was moonlighting at Chippenham Hospital. And Sarah in 1980 when we had moved back to Roanoke, having been in initially after I finished the cardiology fellowship, we were in Radford, which had some connection to Lisa. Anyway, I did a internal medicine residency at MCV, and then worked at Chippenham Hospital as the house doctor for a year. After that, I did 2 years of fellowship in cardiology, and our backdoor neighbor was Will Dibling. Sort of a lot of moves here in Roanoke. In 1980, I started at the community hospital, worked there for 4 years, and one of the things that was big event in my life. My best friend at the time, Ed Warren, who was at First Presbyterian Church as the associate, was killed in a freak car accident on Interstate 77. We were tennis players together, and it's made me reassess my goals. And at that time, I decided to move to Lewis Gale, where I did general cardiology and cardiac catheterizations until about 2000. At that point, I developed thoracic disc that limited my ability to stand and do the catheterization. So around that same time, I switched to consultants in cardiology and finished practicing there with them in 2008. Another thing that happened along the way, in 2005, I developed Hodgkin's disease and was treated by Dr. Kessler and also Bill Fintel. Just by happenstance, two of my daughters are doctors, and a lot of you know Molly, that's a cardiologist here in town. My oldest daughter, Julie, had more of a right-sided brain, and she is more of an English major type. But anyway, Sarah, my youngest daughter, is an oncologist at Cornell Weill in Manhattan, works at the New York Presbyterian Hospital, and is currently involved in a research project and paper which is going to change the treatment of Hodgkin's disease, at least in elderly 60 or older patients. They're the same treatment, and I won't try to bore you, but it's like ABC, BF, or something like that, are the first letters in the 4 drugs that have been used to treat Hodgkin's disease since 1970s, and one of those drugs is one I had to stop because it affects the lungs. And they found another way to treat it that's about overall 20% more effective and doesn't have that side effect. And she's been one of the lead people in that research. That's really the main thing. Since I retired in 2008, I was fortunate to join the Kiwanis Club. My good friend Ken Briggs in 2011, and I was on the board of directors about 5 years ago, and also have had the pleasure of working with Mike Bell for Kids Fishing Day for quite a while. Other things I've done is taken art lessons, which I had this morning for 15 years, and have had other things that I do, including work for the Department of Disability Services, Bradley Free Clinic, active at the Roanoke Presbyterian Church, and play a lot of golf. And I play a lot of golf with a lot of you people, but I guess nobody's ever played night golf with David Hartman like I have. Anyway, that's about the end. Thank you for listening.
Talk about someone who's had a huge impact on so many people in our community. Thank you, Bob. So we've got quite a number of announcements. I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can. The reason we have so many announcements is because this is such an active club, right? Oh, I got a response to that one. So just before Thanksgiving, our own Don Chichester did what he does every year. He organized a group of volunteers to serve lunch at the Adult Care Center. You'll recall that our club helped start that organization decades ago. 20 Kiwanis served food to about 100, let's see. Yeah, 20 Kiwanis served about 100 participants and guests. Dan Chitwood and Mike Quinn supplied the music. And fellow Kiwani, Guy Bird, who's director of philanthropy there, appreciates the help every one of you gave. All right, now moving on to the future. Tomorrow night, we're having a social, and we're going to watch the Elf show. Over 80 of us have signed up to do that. The show is sold out. Amy Carter's supplying the food and the drinks, and Larry is supplying the show. And it turns out, even though the show is sold out, our Kiwanis Club has available 6 more tickets. So if you see Larry at the last minute, 5 more tickets. You see Larry at the last minute, you can get yourself in to what's going to be a good time. All right? Matt, where are you sitting? There you are. So we're supporting Matt. He's joined the club. He's got a badge now. Good for you. We're supporting Matt, as we do every year when we support the Salvation Army, by ringing bells. Do you have sign-up sheets on your tables? And which one of the dates on that sheet needs the most help? Which date? December 1st? I suggest you put your name down there then. Please do that. Speaking of putting your name down, Gene Bollendorf, he's running KPAD this year. She's got a booth Saturday and Sunday, a booth over at the Berglund Center, a booth at the Holiday Craft Show. It's a Kiwanis booth. Yeah, we're selling KPAD tickets at the booth, but we're really selling Kiwanis. It turns out that approach is so effective. That's why we have 2 guests sitting here in the back of the room today, because they came by the booth that Gene had for us at the stock market not long ago. Well, I have it on good faith that Gene needs a few more hands. So get together with her immediately, will you? Sign up to spend a couple hours at the booth selling Kiwanis. We have a great, great product. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Lois James, you're here today. No, you left. When Lois was here, she had on her elf hat because she is once again planning the West End Christmas series of events. We support that West End Center every year by hosting a big Christmas party here. We'll be doing that in 2 weeks. On December 9th, we'll sign up to help her shop at the Walmart. On December 12th, we'll sign up to help her wrap. And on December 13th, all pandemonium will break loose in this room for, I think, 60 kids this year. All pandemonium. If there's any doubt in your mind about the impact we have in this community, look in the eyes of those 60 kids. It will be pandemonious. All right, David Hartman's here. You know, David is a quiet guy sitting over there on the side of the room right now, not saying much. He's got his new seeing eye dog with him by the name of Teddy, right? And he's got a book with him. And the reason he's carrying a book with him is because he's starting a brand new Kiwanis book club. Brand new, first ever. And so he's got a Zoom meeting set up for the first time for the new Kiwanis book club, December 14th. You know where to find all that information. And the best part, my wife is a member. Well, best part for me anyhow. So, did I miss anything? Thank you for bearing with me. We are an active club. It's a reflection of you. Now, before I step down, I'm going to take a picture of a very full room. All right? In fact, I'll have to take more than one. There's so many of them. You're allowed to behave in any which way you decide to behave for the picture. This picture, thank you. I've received a suggestion for me to be included in the picture. Since this picture is going to be public, we'll go with that. Brag bucks. Make them quick. JC, you said you had a burning desire to brag.
It's quick on the draw. Make it quick.
Quick.
I have a brag. I'm gonna ask Guy Bird if you'll step forward. Where is he? Is Guy Bird still here? Last week I had the opportunity to serve at the Adult Care Center, and I was so moved by what I saw. I went back and told the missionaries of my church what a great work they're doing over here. So I'm gonna make a donation from the Shallow Baptist Missionary Ministry to the Adult Care Center for $500.
Whoa. Yeah, you got to pay to do that.
All right, this is quick. This is a $5 brag, which is actually representative of the 55 points the Hokies hung on the Hoos.
Real quick, I'm one of the trumpets playing the Let's Dance band, and this is Dickens of the Christmas Friday night. So when you get through putting your money in the red kettle, you can bring your sweetheart or your other person you got with it. Come down to the Taub, and we'll be playing dance music from 7 to 9. Be glad to have you. I think you'll enjoy it.
Good.
Now, this is not a brag, but this is a request. I met with Nancy Powers this morning. Her husband Gary normally plays with me in the Let's Dance band. He's suffering with pneumonia and bronchitis.
Oops.
He's former board member of this club and also served on the, I think he still serves on the airport commission.
Yeah.
So I think it would be really good. I asked John if sometime we could get a card to him all signed by us. I think it would make him feel real good. Thank you.
Good.
I have a couple brags that I want to just share. First of all, the Salvation Army kicked off its annual kettle and bell ringing campaign beginning Saturday, November 19th. So we made it through Thanksgiving and we are successful so far. We just need a lot of volunteers and folks to come alongside us. And we're excited about the Kiwanians getting out there and ringing starting this Friday. So we still have a few slots open, which is great. The second thing I'll brag about, and as a new member, I do not want to make enemies in here, okay? But for the third year in a row, Michigan beat Ohio State in the game 30-24.
My name is Lee Osborne, and I have a quick brag in the tradition of John Bradshaw and Rupert and others. I recently celebrated a not insignificant birthday.
just turned 70. I've also, this is I'm in my, celebrating my 40th year as a member of this club in August. So I have a check for $100 to our foundation to thank you all for supporting me for all this time.
Good number.
My name is Harry Zulon, graduate of the Ohio State University. Wait till next year, Michigan.
So we know how to brag, don't we? Okay. So the main event today is the presentation about our own project that we started a couple of years ago, the Nature Park project. The project's being run by club members Don Witt, who's right next to me, Rupert Cutler, who's there in person, and Sherry Hartman, who's seated somewhere around here. Here she is. Good. Good. This is by far the largest project our club has ever undertaken. You're going to hear about the scope of the project. You're going to hear about what's been accomplished during the past couple of years, and you're going to hear about the future, the next couple of years. You'll also likely hear about the connection between what we're doing at the Nature Park, what we already did at the playground, and what's going on at the Goodwill Center that we all heard about a week or two ago. Don?
You've already given the program, so we can close the meeting now if you want. My name is Don Witt, and I'm one of the co-chairs along with Sherry Hartman and Rupert Cutler over there. And yes, that is Indiana Jones there, but that's it is what it is. Yeah. So we are the co-chairs, but we're certainly not doing this alone. And we have a committee that has done a great job. We have a committee that's set up, and I'm not going to go through these names because we are short on time. But we have a great committee now, and then there are a lot of committee members that have cycled off, if you will, that helped us a lot last year. So thank you one and all on that. Oops. But the committee, the Kiwanis, is not the only entities that are helping out on this thing. We have a lot of partners in this project. Clean Valley, Roanoke City Schools, Stormwater Division, Parks and Rec, public libraries, and I'm not going to go through all the names there, but we have a lot of partners in this thing, and that's what we need. You want to hand out
Yeah, we've got Clean Valley Council here. And if you've helped in any way, please stand up, because I wanted to give you a thank you on behalf of Mother Earth, represented by this bag. So as Mike said, this couldn't be done without lots of helping hands. So those of you who are here because you helped, please stand, and we're going to give you your token of gratitude from our Kiwanis Nature Park Committee. I'll start over here with Clean Valley.
Clean Valley, Roanoke Public Schools, anyone from schools? We know Ian Shaw from Stormwater, and Renee Powers from Parks and Rec. Thank you. Public Libraries, where's Sheila Umberger? She's not here today. Serve, TAP, Total Action Cooperative, Goodwill Industries, West End Center, Envision Center, Shiloh Baptist, back there, and Hughes Associates, Architects and Engineers, Wetland Studies and Solutions, and individuals, Tara, Bob Gars, got one, okay, you got one, and others that we probably haven't named them all, but frankly, is a great group, and we thank you for your help this year and in the coming years. To give you a quick summary of where we are. In the first year, we had wetland solutions design, wetland studies and solutions create a concept plan for us for the park, Kiwanis Park, with some renderings. This is very concept because we don't know exactly what stormwater Division is going to do with Horton Creek. And they are in charge of that. So we're waiting for that work to be done. If you don't know where this is, it's right by Goodwill Industries, Melrose Library, and just adjacent to our playground. On the left there is the Forest Park Academy. So it gives you an idea of where we are. So what is in this park, and Sherry's supposed to say this, sing this, but she's out passing things, so I'll do it. But we're looking at a public space in nature, creating nature in an area that is devoid of a lot of natural elements. So we're also creating pathway connections through Melrose to the library, community respite. Do you want to continue on this?
Well, one thing that I was asked to really highlight is the community engagement piece, the youth engagement piece. And this is absolutely necessary for that nature park to be a success. The nature park in Northwest Roanoke is as much about revitalization of Northwest Roanoke. It's about environmental sustainability that we're all a part of. And it's about developing environmental stewardship amongst everyone, all ages. And so we've designed activities around the nature park that are purposely and intentionally engaging all ages in the nature park. Plus, it's just lots of fun. We plan with Shiloh Baptist Church our Spring Fun Day every year. Many of you were involved in that. We have over 1,000 people come from the neighborhood and from throughout Roanoke to celebrate spring, to help us plant in the garden. We have, this is about a 3,000 square foot garden now, a pollinator garden. And we have great pictures of it here. You'll see the pollinator garden has been a way to get people to be engaged by helping plant, by helping weed. Many of you rolled up your sleeves and helped us to make sure that the native plants that we're growing there thrive and win the war against the weeds that we keep battling there. Clean Valley Council did this fabulous job of taking youth to the garden with backpacks that we equipped them with to look at the world differently, to see the wonder of nature, to fall in love with that, and to be captured by the mystery of it, so that they then care about taking care of the world the way we're all going to depend on. So you have to hear Courtney when she does a presentation to understand what I'm talking about. She can look at the smallest, creepiest looking creature and make it sound like it's a wonder of the world. She's like, oh, look at that spider. And I'm like, ew, Courtney. She's like, oh, but Sherry. And she can tell you everything you could ever want to know about that spider. So she did that with the kids. She shared her sense of wonder with the kids from the Goodwill Youth Headquarters that we're partnering with. So that's just to give you a glimpse into some of the ways that we're using the nature park to make a difference. All right, so here is pollinator garden number 1 in year 1. It did get planted at our Spring Fun Day that we do with Shiloh Baptist Church. We moved fences out of the way. Rupert was like, Sherry, you got to get rid of those fences. That is not adding to a sense of nature. So we worked with actually Sam Lionberger helped us identify somebody to get rid of those fences. So we do have one that separates us still from Forest Park Academy, but it was moved back significantly. So the school system has a barrier that delineates where the school stops and the nature park begins. We got our first $10,000 from the Kiwanis Foundation of Roanoke. So you saw the brag bucks that were made, right? So brags lead to money for the Kiwanis Foundation. And that foundation is what kicked us off with our initial $10,000 3 years ago. We got our first, and that was when the board adopted this project as the signature project of the club. So that means that this project belongs to all of us. We might have a committee leading the way, but the project belongs to all of us. And as you learn more about it, we want you to think about where your thumbprint might be on this project. We'd like to involve everyone. So we have all kinds of activities that happen to expand the garden. One of the ways that we're promoting education is through Larry, the Log Perch book. The Kiwanis Club of Roanoke is going to be published. We're going to have this delightful children's book about nature. You may know about the fact that our Roanoke log perch is endangered. It's even on a postage stamp in order to lift up the cause of this log perch. And we have linked up with an author to write the book, Melissa Rooney, and with an artist to illustrate the book. It's really so colorful and delightful and engaging. And everyone will get a copy of it after we get to publish the book coming up very soon. So the idea of Larry is he's going to be kind of our Smokey the Bear for water conservation. Larry's going to help us get that message out that we all have to do our part to reduce pollution and to reduce the contamination of our waterways. We involved West End Center children in producing artwork for the book, again, to involve all ages in our work. And their little pictures are going to be published in the book. 500 copies are forthcoming. We hope to have our launch date, March 23rd, and have a big event with book signing and Larry costume. Anybody want to volunteer? You could be Larry the Log Perch that day. We'll have book giveaways. We might even have a jingle contest, and we're going to paint Larry on storm drains. All right.
I did see a lot of volunteers for the costume. I saw them throughout there. I'm looking forward to that. Other things we did, we actually constructed a outdoor storage facility. Steve McCall and myself rebuilt it several times before we finally got it right. And that's why I'm so excited about it being done on that picture. We installed a interpretive sign at the pollinator garden, basically saying, explaining what the pollinator garden is about. We had a candidate for Eagle Scout build slabs for two benches and a picnic table, and it was basically they did a really good job. And then he installed them. Mike Adams got a hold of AAA Tree Works, and they removed a dead tree that we had. Volunteered to do that for gratis, so that was very nice of them. We're building a trail around the pollinator garden. This is a picture of it this week, I think. It's not quite finished, and a lot more work to be done, but basically we've got that trail underway. We also are engaging Hughes Associates to do some design work for the amphitheater, which is going to be a little stage area for educating kids, handling maybe 30 to 40 kids. We have continued community input. As you can see, they're giving some ideas. I've got 1 minute left here. Continued input. We're working with the Stormwater Division in Roanoke City. They have gotten a consultant on board, but they're still negotiating on scope. When that's done, Ian Shaw will be meeting with us to discuss the project and schedules and how we can coordinate our efforts with the city. You heard 2 weeks ago the collaboration with Goodwill Industries. That is an exciting thing. Basically, we are going to be part of a Northwest hub, including Melrose Plaza, Melrose Library, the playground, and the park. So we've got a lot more work to do. We're going to collaborate with with stream restoration, creek bios, wells, just a lot of work yet to be done on that. And it's 3 more years before that's done. This didn't turn out right, but basically we're talking about a $775,000 rough project cost. And we have to thank these entities that have already contributed. And one of the nice things was that National Fish and Wildlife Foundation gave us an extra $10,000 without us even asking for it. So that is really nice. So it takes a village, put all this together. We want you all to be involved in this thing. We want, and we certainly appreciate all the collaborations that we have going on. The end result is happy, healthy families.
Well done. It is a huge project. It's taking 5 years. It follows on the heels of a huge playground project, which our club successfully delivered to the city a couple of years ago. So it's a big deal. We really appreciate the work that you guys are doing to lead it and the work that the rest of you are doing to support it. Now, looking forward to next week. It turns out that Amy Carter has made the decision. I've approved this decision. It's part of my executive responsibilities, by the way, to serve you lunch again, but it's going to be a Christmas lunch, a special Christmas lunch menu, which I think sounds pretty good. Now, before I close, I have a check to present, an honorarium. Every time we have a speaker and a program, we present them an honorarium. And the honorarium you chose, the recipient for the honorarium, is the Kiwanis Foundation of Roanoke. So thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no further business, we're adjourned.